Hey, I'm Ryan. I'm Maker238. Follow along with me. We're gonna fix some holes in this pool. And believe it or not, my kids didn't put it in it. My kids fixed it. So if you're new to my channel, smash that subscribe button. Leave me a couple comments. Let me know what you saw here you liked. Anything maybe I could have done different, or heck, I don't know, anything. A funny joke. But anyway, let's follow along. We're building, making a swim pool from a trash compactor. So, I got a hole in my pool. So we got to fix that. What else we got to do? We got another hole here that I'm sure I helped out with my little tractor. I put the bucket clean into it. So we got another hole we got to fix. Maybe bang it down, see how thin this metal is, cut some of it out, maybe cut a little piece, put it back in there. I'm gonna leave all this other stuff because, you know, this tells the story of what this thing was. I didn't make it from scratch. It's not gonna be perfect. I really want to be able to see these outside defects that makes this thing what it was, which was a trash compactor. So I'm literally making a swimming pool from trash. Kinda. All right, so we got that hole. We got that hole. Maybe start scraping some of this paint off and some of these little mossy doos. All right, and then the other thing is, I had mentioned this mark right here, skip, is where, oh, I need to go back and grind that stuff back off. It's like, don't let the little bitty things pile up to where you've got this big problem. I need to go ahead and take care of those little things like that. Like any big project, you don't want the little things to add up to where at the end you've got a lot of little bitty fussy things to do. I like to try to do it as it goes. So what I was saying, right there where that line is, we're gonna have a deck that's gonna come out. I don't know how far, I haven't gotten that yet. Lumber sure is expensive. I'm thinking about actually building the deck out of some pallets. A deck from pallets? Why not? Everything else is made from the trash. Don't tell anybody. So with that being said, I'm gonna put plexiglass here, right? We talked about that. If I'm gonna have a deck that wraps around, what do I open this? Keep this part open? I don't know. So why don't I fill that void in right there, halfway up with some metal. That's a lot of work, but I think it's gonna be worth it. Where I go up and I fill that up. Do I have the metal for it? I think I do. Go up right there, use a piece of metal to go across, take one of my other structural pieces like I used on the side there, have that come across, because you got to worry about the weight. And what that's going to do is it's going to make my window for my swimming family aquarium viewing station a little bit smaller, but I didn't really want the deck covering up a portion of it. That'd kind of be goofy, right? Yeah. So I think that's what I'm gonna do in this episode. We'll do that because, again, I got a hole in my pool. Good, got a hole in my pool. So, yeah, I got a hole in the pool. Yeah, well, we'll do that. We'll get everything else ready for sandblasting. I think that's it. Yeah. How y'all doing today? Y'all doing pretty good? I got a lot of really good responses on the longer videos. If you wouldn't mind, leave me a comment. Let me know if you like them. If you don't like the longer videos, leave me a comment saying that you do like the longer videos, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah. What do? You just got to start working, don't you? Isn't that how you do it? All right, let's go do it. Boop. I'm gonna make this piece just a wee bit easier to move around. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I heard if it's snake season, the best thing to do is to just start talking. Even if you're walking in a field by yourself, you start talking, because the vibrations, they can pick that up. I'm yelling. Sorry, I had music playing. I'm yelling. I don't know how much truth there is to that. But yeah. So I always try to make a lot of noise, you know, vibration and stuff like that. Because when you come up on a critter, you know, they're not wanting to get you, man. They're being scared by you coming up onto them. What? So I don't know how much truth to it. I'd really like to use this one, but I don't think that's 65 inches that way, because it came up to a peak. So I'm gonna say no. But that one right now is. Oh, and you let gravity be a helping hand with moving big pieces. Back out. All right, let's mark that out. 60. Boop. That's what we need. So picture that. Picture that being the piece of metal, and then I'll come and I'll do my support across the top, and then one down the center. So should I show all that? Yeah, I'll show it. Hopefully you'll be able to see, but what I did is I need to get 65. My straight edge is way over there. I really don't feel like walking. So 65, I make one mark pretty close, one mark pretty close. Then I take this here tape and I put my thumb down just like that, and then I use my sandstone here. And as long as I'm light, it'll give me a semi straight line. Yeah. If I could give anybody that doesn't use one of these very often some pointers, which by the way, these things you can pick up pretty cheap. Harbor Freight's got them, but I would suggest these are something you're going to use for a long time at one time. So it's really good to think about maybe buying a little bit better version, not top of the line. I think you can get one for maybe 40-50 bucks sometimes. I found actually a 2-pack, I think, for like 59 bucks one time. So yeah, that's awesome. Also, when you go to use these, this is a lot stronger than you are. Let this do the cutting. You don't need to push down hard. You don't need to try to go fast. Let this thing do what it's meant to do. Also, you saw me do a score line. I like to do a score line. It's not gouging a lot, maybe an eighth of the way down. And then what I'll do is I'll find a sweet spot. And you'll notice when you find that sweet spot when you're cutting, because the vibration goes down. When the vibration goes down, you found it, man. So you get it, and then I've got pretty good pressure right here, but I'm barely putting any pressure right here. And you notice where I'm at. If this thing falls apart, it's gonna shoot out straight up that way. It might hit my leg, but it ain't gonna hit none of this. You know what I mean? So always, don't ever try to. Sometimes I will. Everybody does, but try not to. Is what I'm saying. All right, let's get this thing cleaned up and cut the rest of the way down. I'll probably use the circular saw to get a good straight edge to cut my 17 inches up. You'll hear my dog? He always lets me know when somebody's here. Hey, I'm still a young man, but I try to think smarter, not harder. Something like that. I don't want to pick this thing up. I don't really feel like getting the tractor out. No, yeah. Let's cut it. No, it's not funny. I can't find where that level is at all. I had a 6-foot one. Oh well. Must that be right where I have to do it. What a beautiful backdropping day it is. Let's slide this blade up so I'm not cutting a bunch of stuff I don't need to, like the air. There's potentially my finger. Oopsie. Don't want my fingy wingy. And I couldn't make videos. Couldn't make the videos without the fingy wingy. This thing's got a laser on it. Let's try it. Now this thing is going to bow inwards, so what I'll do is I'll reposition my 2x4s because I didn't want to cut the 2x4s with the metal cutting saw. I don't know if that does anything, but just in case I didn't want to. And then I don't want to cut that off, that's extra work. So I mean, it's kind of straight. I'll finish it with the diagram. Likey, likey, likey. Wrong one. I need this one. All right, let's see how we did. Ah, it's got a little bit of weight behind it. I just tripped on a cord. That hurt. Clean up your workspace, Ryan. All right. Please, 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 please. Oh. How far are we? We gotta take some off. Ruh-roh, raggy. How much? Somebody come help me. I need help. Not much. Somebody hand me that chalk pen over there. cut that off. All right. Take two. Good. That bottom's not straight. All right, just weld it. Bet you that bottom's not straight. Well, once the rail's in, we'll get the rail straight, this will look straight. Stay up, it's so hard to get it in place. It's gonna fall. Going through cleaning up some of the spots that I went through and re-welded, getting the scale off. A couple spots in there. Then she'll go through and blow it off and clean it up real good. While she's working on that, I'm gonna work on this. There's a before. And after. Say hey! We'll do that. Looks pretty. Alright, let's get welded. Alright. I shouldn't have cut that last part off. Now we got a gappy wappy. That in it severely bent, so I figured I'd weld this side right here and then bring that out and weld it from the inside and then gradually bring it back down. And see, that bow's going to take some of our distance or our length out. Maybe it'll bring a little bit back. I don't know. I'll come back when I got it welded. That's why I'm building the pool, for those kids right there. Anyway, I wanted to show off my weld. These GoPros don't like to focus, but I've gotten a heck of a lot better, y'all. That's why I did a project like this. That's why you pick hard projects, is to get better at them. So, I think 4 tacks, I don't know, I might put a couple more in there, maybe in the middle. It's hard to bridge that all the way up. But what I'll do then, now that I got that, is I should be able to it's hard to do it one-handed. Look at that, got that to come out. So I really need to go ahead and get that right there, and then I can bring it the rest of the way down. Yeah, 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 yeah. Alex was nice enough to come through and needle all that again and blow it all off for me. How sweet. Tell you what, having an awesome wife is the best thing ever. That woman saved my life. I can't tell you how many times. But my welds, I'm telling y'all, look how good those things look. Goodness. So that's before descaling with the old needler here. That's after. Is it worth going all the way around welding? I mean, I'm gonna put that other brace here. I'm looking at the construction of this thing. You know, the way that they have it, they have everything kind of just tacked. The inside edges and stuff are, well, that's not a good example. But, I don't know. Should I go through and re-weld all of that? I'll probably do this, where I added that little piece. I'll go through and weld all that all the way, probably. Because that's not that much, but I don't know. Whoa! One big weld. Blip, blip, blip. All right. I'll cut the other piece and I'll come back when I'm welding that on, but y'all get the general idea here of what we're doing. That beautiful day. Seeing as how I'm a pro now, before I go to put my little box section up here, it's not really box, rectangular. Before I go to put that other piece up here, I'm gonna notch out the corner. I'm gonna notch that corner, that way it'll sit nice and flush in there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we are gonna do. Level. That's pretty good. I'll get this other side. I mean, it's more or less level, right? Man, the GoPro sucks the battery down. My God. Just swapped it out and it's down to 40% already. I need to get a battery pack. You know, goes back to the battery deal. Assuming that's straight, we'll just trim, we'll grind the tip, the top down when we get to it. Alright, I've got a pretty substantial size hole to fill here, and you can already see maybe down in there that I start welding on this lip. Imagine this lip right here on that side. That's where I start welding, and then I kind of angle my gun to the side and build that up. I'm kind of making metal, and then when I get close enough that I can make me a little U, I do that and get up on this edge right here. See if I can kind of one hand weld and film at the same time and kind of show you guys. Not that I'm a professional welder at all. This is what I've done on this project so far that has succeeded. So I continue to do things that succeed. See, now I've got enough where I can fill that gap. Yeah, let's clean that up with a needler and see if we got any holes. I did that one-handed. You see? I can fill the rest of those pretty easy. Look at that weld. God, Ryan, you are on top of it, man, I'm telling you. Beautiful day. All right, well, let's get to work. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It is a Saturday morning. I don't know, it's like 50, 53, 54 degrees. That's perfect for some shorts and a little jacket. That's what I love. We got some birds right above us. I had a rabbit run by earlier and I thought that was pretty cool. Look at what we did yesterday. What do you think? And so, what we got to do? Oh yeah, get that stretch going. What we got to do this morning is we got to get this knocked down nice and flat. Fix that hole. Oh, we got 2 holes, 3 holes. Oh, sorry. 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 I don't want no sharpie. Let's take a little look-see-poo, eh? Yes. I'm going with some marine grade silicone probably. All right. I was gonna put another support right there in the middle, but I don't really think it needs it. I mean, the door's stronger than it was. All right, next order of business. I've got 2 hired hands coming in later to help me bang out that hole. But let's focus on, I think I got another one down there somewhere. Down there, I think I saw, right there. Let's focus on that. We'll cut a hole out. Boop, and put a patch on it. Change of plan. I think what I'm gonna do is heat this up and bang it with my Thor and see if I can just go in and just weld that stuff. I mean, yeah, it's thinner than the other area surrounding, but again, this is some thicker gauge stuff. I think overall we'll be able to get that a little bit flatter And then I'm just gonna weld it from the outside probably. I know there's a trick where if you had a big chunk of copper or a big chunk of aluminum, something that the metal will not weld to, you could put that in here and you could weld it on the inside and almost make your weld and then pick that up. I don't have anything like that. Wish I did. We'll do the same with that. I'll just beat that down and I'll weld it from the outside. Grind it smooth. Remember, I got some helping hands. Golly, they're strong. They're coming later. We're gonna heat that up and break that down. See, I got some stuff I can go through with a needler, clean some of this stuff up. Lots of fun. What a beautiful day to do it in, though. I just can't get over. We're lucky. We're very, very lucky to be able to be here on this planet at this time. Very, very lucky. Where's my tripod? Tripod. All right, let's get the torch set up. Let's heat that up. And then we'll beat the crap out of it and see what we can do. Now I know that there's a big glare, but I kind of like that look. It looks cool to me. So if it looks cool to me, y'all are getting it. Ooh, ooh! Don't want to drop the bowl. I got these quick releases on here. I like those. You go through bottles a lot. Check. What am I gonna be doing for a while? Show me the real come off the shelf. The living's easy. Alrighty's on the microphone. You see, they're cool because you just, that's it. Oh, whoopsie. But once pressure's on it, it seals it. Oxygen is the green one, and acetylene, which is your fuel, is the red one. Uh-oh. Science with maker. Uh-oh. Science with maker. So, what oxygen and acetylene is? Oxygen is your fuel. What the acetylene is your fuel. I'm sitting here touching it, looking at it. The acetylene is your fuel. So I'm going to use that to light because that will burn, right? That's going to give, that's what I'm actually burning. What's the oxygen for? The oxygen, you know, fire needs oxygen as its fuel as well because it needs that. It needs that hydrogen and oxygen. Yeah. It needs oxygen, not hydrogen, just oxygen. I was thinking about water there for a second. So basically, you're going to use this to heat the metal up. And then you're going to see me hit this button. What that does is it feeds even more oxygen through this tip, pushing away that hot metal. That's how oxygen and acetylene works. And believe it or not, they used to build skyscrapers with these. They would heat the metal up, put their rivets in it, heat their rivet up, bang it down. And they would use this to weld too. You would heat your metal up to the point that it was hot enough for fusion to happen. And then they would take their filler rod and fill it in. Just like we do with TIG rods now. But you're using this instead of your tungsten tip on TIG. Tungsten something. That's what TIG stands for. But we're just going to heat it up. so we don't need to be blowing it. So I'm still gonna have a heavy oxygen mix here. Already got some oxygen in there. A little bit of oxygen, just so I can get a good flame. Oopsie, too much. I need some more acetylene. A bit more oxygen. Now, and you know you got a good mixture when your tip is blue throughout. See how I got, I'm yelling, I got Rage Against the Machine at the same time. But see how your blue tip there, the little flames are there. You know you've got a good oxygen mixture. It is now burning evenly. Now, when I go and I push this lever, you see that? It's giving my flame more oxygen. That blue part is the flame that the oxygen and the acetylene are mixing together and making. When I'm adding more oxygen, my little blue flame gets bigger. Science is maker. All right, let's heat this thing up. Let's get a hammer ready first. I'll probably heat it up out here. I'll heat it up inside. Let's carry it inside. I'll just light that all over again. Let's go inside and do it. That way it's easier. I don't have to be running around. Now, I'm not an expert on any of this. I did some basic classes in college on oxygen and acetylene and welding and diesels and blah, blah, blah. But as far as professionally, I've just used it in the field enough to where I've made the job happen at the end. So maybe I feel like I halfway kind of know what I'm talking about. Maybe. I mean, trial and error is the best way to do anything. I mean, I can get personal with you guys if you want me to. My daddy was a dentist. He passed away when I was 17. My mama, you know, she did a lot of stuff. Never really specialized in one thing. She passed when I was 19. They were never married, and I'm the only child. Let's see, I had a Pawpaw Jack and a Pawpaw Marlin. They both had farms, you know, so they knew how to run a farm and move around and do that. But I didn't really have the pleasure of growing up hand in hand with them, you know. I got into a little bit of trouble when I was younger. That's where the 238 comes from. If anybody wants to know that story, ask me about it. But yeah, so I was kind of set out on my own, relatively early age. And I went to RV school. I kind of learned the bulk of stuff through RV school. I mean, that's plumbing, AC, that's gas, that's diesel, that's gasoline, that's generators, that's inverters, that's converters, that's trailer brake systems, that's 24 volt, 12 volt, 36 volt, 48 volt on some of the big diesel pushers. Let's see, I learned carpentry, tile work, carpet, body work, fiberglass. The list goes on. Think about what a camper is. It's a car and a house put together. I always thought that was pretty cool. So that's my training. I operate equipment for the last 7-8 years. I've done all my own mechanicing on that, trial and error, you know. Yeah, so I mean, halfway kind of know what I'm doing on about half of it. The other, I just kind of wing until I see progress. When you see progress, find that progress and keep going. And there's nothing really else to do. I should have another littler hammer too. Let's go get that. A little mini Thor. There's my fuel. Get your your oxygen to a fine blue tip. Test it. I'm a little high on my oxygen, but that's alright because we're just heating that up. Change of plans. I'm gonna cut a little piece of metal. Little patchworks right there. For that one, this one over here turned out really good. I'm just gonna throw some welds in right there and kind of beat and grind that down. Still waiting on my help for that one. But I was hunting around in the shop for a piece of metal and I found the most perfect piece. And if anybody's been a viewer of my channel for any time, I did a collaboration with a pretty awesome YouTuber. His name is Eric Maker, and we made knives for each other and we sent them. So that's where this is from. And I think it's cool when you're able to not hoard. Now we're collectors, but if you hold on to stuff, you can kind of, this thing, it's got a story to tell. You know, this started off as a piece of metal that I got from the scrapyard that I used to keep up on top of my truck right there. Actually, my older service truck. And then I'd put it right there so that my welder would have a little bit more weight distributed surface to sit on. And then I took it off and put it in there. And I put that piece of metal on my workbench inside as a welding table. I cut that off because it was a little bit too long. I went to go make a knife. Man, that's a perfect piece. Here I am making a pull. Perfect piece. So decided to go in a little bit different direction. I like it when the material can kind of tell a story. You know how like the cartoons, one of my favorite one was The Adventures of the Brave Little Toaster. I don't know why, but it's just like household appliances and their little journey, and they get to tell a story. You know, not that this is a household appliance, but it's a piece of, I mean, it's a piece of metal that at one time was in the ground, you know, and now look where it's at. It's gonna be part of my pool. Distracted! Up here, you hear how it's down? Down there, it's hard to hold. Right down the middle, that little sweet spot. Now, the harder you push, the more you're going to eat up this abrasive disc. These things are expensive. You can buy the cheap ones from Harbor Freight, but they do not last very long at all. I like using, I don't even know where I got those from. Maybe Lowe's? Or they're the 6-inch disc. We'll clean that up. Weld it on. Since I'm putting it on top of another piece, I could bevel. You know, we talked about beveling, giving the metal somewhere to go. But what I'm going to do is just put it on like that. I don't have anything to demonstrate. Pretend this is my MIG. This is the wire in the MIG. I'm just going to go like that. It's not structural. I'm just practicing covering up holes because I could weld it. But what I want to do is I want to put this on the outside, kind of tack it in a couple places, and then go on the inside and fill that hole up and grind it smooth as practice. Because you know, I could just leave it like it is, fill it with some body filler, and be just fine. But I want to practice welding. You know, I want to get better at this art. It's an art. How do you get better if you don't do it? Do it. Do it. Oh, but the knife video. I got distracted. Hi, I'm Ryan. I get distracted. But the knife video, I'll put a link up to that right now in the description box or up in the little thing. Right there. I'll put it up there. And go check that out because I make a lot of smaller projects. If you're new to my channel, if you wouldn't mind going back and checking out my catalog, I got a lot of, I'm all over the place. I got a lot of cool videos, I think. I think they're cool. I think you should check them out. And this is not going to be a long enough extension cord. No, I go to like right here. That's as far as I can go. Oh, the little fiddly things. Look what I just did. I just put that cover on this morning. Look at that. And there it is. I mean, if this was on anything else, what I could do is go back with some body filler or even weld in some more, but that's our hole fixed, and some practice accomplished on my side. So let's do that one while we got everything out. And when I was up at Seekers with Doug Jackson, if y'all have not heard of SV Seeker, I'll put a link right now up to his channel. You'll learn so much on every single episode. There's not something like, he covers it all. So on every episode, you're guaranteed to learn something. But on one of them, if you've got a crack, that stress crack will continue on in your weld, or in your metal. So what you want to do is when you're welding, continue that weld on just a little bit past where that stress crack is, to help yourself to alleviate, get rid of the crack pretty much, where the crack is not, crack's bad. You don't want crack sticking out the top. I gotta get in there and get that out with the little DA, but yeah, no hole. Come through the grinder and clean that up. Got an idea of maybe doing a slide, a little deck on the back, or maybe a little metal ledge or something you climb up on, a little slide that just plops you into the water. What do you think? Oh, golly! Oh, you guys, come here. You come here to me. So I dropped that piece of metal down. There it is. My luck, you know, it had to land right on the extension cord. Yay, just another thing to do. And good practice with oxygen and acetylene is to always close them, because I shall show you. I shall show you. Yeah, some people leave that oxygen knob on right there. I don't. I turn it off every time. But sometimes people leave it on because you find a good setting and you want to leave it. But if you accidentally were to hang this and it hit that, that's going to empty out that oxygen tank real fast. Don't ask me how I know. It sounds like my help's here. Everybody wave, say hello. All right, we got our safety gear. We ready to make some noise and heat up some metal. Get in the position, that way y'all get ready. Don't worry about that. I was just making sure it was still on.
Say it back up, baby.
Zippy, watch your sister.
I'll
Go
just
ahead.
keep your eye on everybody around
Just
you.
get a couple practice swings in. Just get used to this called muscle memory. That way when it's go time, you know exactly what to do.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah, that way you get a good stance and you can whack that thing. Because y'all are going to have to...
Well, stand up. I'll help you.
Because y'all are going to have to back up a little bit while I heat it up. Because I don't want y'all next to the fire while I'm heating it
I
up.
have an idea.
Okay? I had to call in the big guns today, y'all. Y'all ready?
Yeah. Whoa.
So what's metal is like pottery, right? Picture it the same, but metal is really, 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 really hard. To make it like pottery, we gotta heat it up. And once we get it hot, it's a heck of a lot easier to start manipulating it and maneuvering it around. So what we'll do is we'll get this nice and hot, and we'll have my big hands come in with their strong arms to beat this thing, see if we can whack it down. I want you to hit right where this tip is. You see right where I'm heating up, where it's hot? You got your safety glasses on? All right, hit it. Be careful. Hit it. There you go. Yeah. Hey, see how it's moving? There you go. There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
be
easy
careful with
does
that one.
Easy.
All right. Let me heat it back up.
All right. Good job, man.
Take it back up.
Look, you made it move. You moved metal.
See how it moves? I want you to beat this thing. Watch your face. Make sure you're not right in front of it because you don't want that hammer to accidentally bounce back or miss and hit you. Go. There you go. Hit it. Hit it. There you go. Hit that top one. There. Now start working it back towards the middle. Start hitting towards the middle now. There you go.
Yes.
Woo.
Alright, watch out. Mama, you want to try?
Sure. Can I try a hammer? Thank you.
This is a good opportunity right here because what we're going to have to do is go in with the grinder and I'm going to have to gouge some of that out. So that way when that metal pushed in, it stretched. It stretched to where it made that dimple. So when you go to push that metal back, you're pushing the stretched metal back down flat. So you're going to have more in the end than when you started. So what you need to do now is go through with the grinder and I'll gouge that out. I'll heat it back up and then I'll let them beat the crap out of it. Yeah. We'll come back when it's ready to weld. Maybe I'll let one of them weld today. Woo!
Y'all did really good.
Deloach! Woo! And there it is before we start whacking it. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Good.
I said this turn and then your turn.
Bring it. And go.
Ready?
Whack.
Watch out for your face.
Watch your face. Yes. There you go. Go up a little bit. There you go. That was it. You hear the difference?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. One more good one. All right.
One more.
There you go. Yes. You hear the difference in the sound? Keep hitting it. Yeah, hit that top crack. Yes. All right. Let me hit it up, then we'll let Molly back away. All right. Yeah, see, get that. There you go.
Okay.
That was it.
All right.
I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna hit it with Thor.
All right.
Kind of flatten everything out.
Are we gonna hit you?
Nope, not yet. right, now hit it. And then what I'll do is I'll get a punch real fast.
Punch.
Punch. It's kind of like an extension of your hammer. All right. Ah. That's a heck of a lot smaller hole than when we started. Ignore that up there. Ooh, that's hot. Ignore that sunlight. Look at that. We'll run a weld that way to run weld that way. Grind it probably from, I'll probably weld it from the outside. And then, yeah. Thank you. Thank y'all.
Of course.
Show the camera what you made. Look at that. I got 4% left, but we'll go and I'll just smooth that out with the flap disc. I've welded on the other side. We ain't got no more holes, y'all. Woo! Well, good morning, sir. How are you? You doing good? Let's see, it is Sunday morning. I don't know, not morning, afternoon. The whole family fixed all the holes yesterday. I thought that was really cool. We got us all out here. Alex, my wife, she came through and descaled and needled and blew everything off for me. I'm actually just about ready to wrap this video up and get to where we're going to start sandblasting. I'm a sandblast in one video all by itself because I'm a little excited. Because you get to see this thing look like absolute garbage, literally. And then it's going to be like, oh God, it's all starting to kind of look like it's the same stuff. Yeah, so this video is coming to an end. I already started editing and I've got like, I don't know, 20, 30 something minutes, and that's only about half of it, so. But I'm not going to go all the way down right here because that's where the weld is for that thing and for that up top. Excuse me. What I'll probably do is just clean it up a little bit, grind that stuff around. I just wanted to show a before. You see, I started doing it and then I realized, hey, I should probably start filming some of this stuff. Here's a before. You know, when I shoot a lot of this stuff for myself too, you know, kind of documentation. You know, this is the biggest project that I've done. Oh, I don't know. It's different. So I've just, see, I got those welds right there. I just gonna have to make it look like it's supposed to be there. That's all we can do. And you know, hands eventually might be up there because I thought about maybe doing a slide that would poke out of that side and just dump us out into the water. So that'd be pretty cute. And whack that one down and then get that to the appropriate size with that being closed all the way. Cut that off, put it right there, and I'll probably do that. I need to go ahead and do that now too. Any of the I watched a lot of, and I said them before in this video and a couple other times on my channel, but Doug over at SV Seeker on his channel, you know, I've watched pretty much all of his videos, and if you have not heard of him, I'll put a link to his thing right here. I had the great pleasure of being able to go up and work on his boat and work on his channel there for what was it, 3 days. I've got a video where I make some fire extinguisher holders. That's pretty cool. I'll put a link up right now for that too. Oh, I got distracted. But Doug taught me something by watching his videos, is get all of your fabrication done before you start sandblasting or before you start painting. You know, he's got a recent video where he wants to mount something to the hole, or he wants to mount the air tanks. And he's like, well, I could just weld right there. And then he's like, no, I can't, because I've already painted that. You know, and that's, you know, I'm not putting it into the same, I got watchers. I'm not putting it into the same thing. It's not a boat, but you know, you need to have that ability to think ahead of, I need to get all my fabrication done before I sandblast, really, because it's immediately after sandblasting, I'm gonna go through and start putting primer on this thing. I wish I didn't have such harsh humidity, because what I'd like to do is sandblast it, go through with the Bondo and the silicone, and then prime it. Because I think they make silicones that you can paint, because I used to paint over the side of them on RVs. Did I? Acrylic silicone? No? Well, yeah, you could still paint over them. You can't paint over the other kind, the real slick silicone. Yeah. So I need to do all that stuff, like do all my final weldings and all my cuts and stuff before we sandblast. So that's kind of what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to come back, because this is long enough. I will come back when I am done with all that. Let's see, it is 12:08. I got me a Red Bull. I got me a coconut water. I got me some good music tunes going, a full battery. I've got a dog that will not stop barking. Let's go. We'll just weld that right now. Look how straight that is. Ooh, Ryan. And then that's where that needs to go. I'll get a piece cut and ready for that, or do I just leave that open? Right? Don't really know. I want to keep it, or do I take that off? I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, kind of goes with the look. Well, that's ready. When do I weld that, right? Because am I gonna ever open up the door? I don't think I am. I'm gonna wait on welding that. All right, let's do a final walk around, and then it's ready to do some sandy. Well, we accomplished exactly what we came here to do, and that was to fix the holes. And believe it or not, I added a thing. I reinforced this door. Not reinforced, but I added to this door. That's going to shrink our plexiglass, and I think give us a good line for the deck to come around. It's long enough. What's that? We just getting ready for a little sandblasting. That's going to be in the next video. Got everything cleaned up. I don't think I'll have to use the grinder anymore, or the welder. Actually, no, I take that back. I am. The wife and I were talking. We'll order some multicolor LED lights, and maybe right there, and right there at the end, I'll go get me some pipe fastened somehow. You know, heck, what I could do with having this, I could go get me some of that black pipe and screw it in and make a cage over the top of it. Maybe for like some sprinklers, maybe like a basketball hoop, maybe like a tarp system to cover it up. Yeah? I've got a bunch of buddies that drive roll-off trucks and dump trucks, and on the end of those, they've got these canopies that sit basically towards the front of the truck, and they got like a 24 or 12 volt motor. Heck, some of them I even think are air, and they'll raise like that, and they'll cover the whole container. Maybe I could do something like that with some canvas cloth. I don't know. I don't know. I could do an awning from a camper. The long fabric. No, those awnings, those things scare me. I had a buddy in my shop. I worked at a couple different RV shops before the economy hit. And yeah, I think his name was Jeff. He lost his pinky in one of those things. They wind up in the springs like a garage door spring. And the way you've got to do it, you got to get two rods in there simultaneously and hold one, tension it, hold one, move it over, hold one, and in between, his little pinky got stuck and it flew off, and yeah, it's pretty nasty. Yeah, I get distracted on stories. Do y'all want to do an overview? I mean, y'all can kind of see everything. We've walked around. You know, this thing's gonna change dramatically. I mean, tons of stuff is about to happen to this thing. It's already happened. I mean, it used to be a trash compactor. We cut the top off, put rails on, put supports on, put that piece down there on the back, on the opening. That opening is actually where the compactor part used to sit. Compactor pot. The compactor used to sit. There was an extra box that they would deliver and would sit right there and would push up. And you got these chains and stuff, and they would ratchet it close. And this thing in there's got a little, I don't know, probably an electric hydraulic motor, and it had this ram that you would put your trash in, and it would push it forward, put your trash in, push it forward, put your trash in, push it forward. So that's what the hole is there for. A lot of people didn't know that. Heck, I didn't know that until I started looking this stuff up. But we've knocked that thing off, put caps on there, put caps on the sides. These angles on these turned out really, really, really well. I mean, I've got some stuff that's not pretty. Again, we're not making it to be perfect. We're making a pool from a trash compactor. Heck, I'll even show y'all some of the nasties. I got a hole in there I gotta fix. But it's good enough, right? At this stage right now, it's at a good point for me just to break the wrist and walk away. Yeah. So, thank y'all again for watching. If you made it to this point, that means you've watched the entire video or you've skipped ahead. And if you skipped ahead, please don't do that. That messes with my analytics. But you've made it to the end. Man, I really, really appreciate that. That's crazy cool to think that somebody would even watch 20 minutes of me. You know, and I think this one's going to be another long one. So, I really appreciate that. I think what I'd like to try to do eventually, I don't know when, and I don't even know if I'll leave this part in when I edit, but I've had some people that have really, you know, stood beside me during this venture. You know, I think it'd be neat if I made another batch of keychains or little somethings. Maybe I'll make a bunch of little somethings and I'll send it to you guys. I think that'd be neat. I've got some stickers. If anybody wants a sticker, leave a comment, let me know, and I'll find you. You'll find me and let me know. Yeah, so that's it. I'll get one last good look at it. See, I already started right there a little bit. Yeah. All right, don't really know how to end them. Bye.